a form of bipolar disorder was actually transmitted to the entire human race based on the traumas of the last 3 years. With that being said, I do want to highlight a distinction between polarity and duality. This is important because the next wave, and even going into the final wave of transient souls that are not ready for the planetary fifth dimensional ascension, they have a form of polarity that allows them, but really prompts them to move out of their center. Now, the center of each human unit is essentially good, is essentially God. But the poles, the polarity, the pole shift between the emotional spectrum will cause one to say things subconsciously to themselves that's where, okay, everything's going good. Now I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall. Now I'm anticipating evil because there is good. This is indicative of what it really means to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It means that you feel like there can't be good without evil. And whether that's true or not is not should not be a producer of your energy. You shouldn't be relying on the other shoe falling. You shouldn't be relying on there always being something. There's always something. There's always something. You don't want to be the one who perpetuates that side of the pole. Whether it always is something or not has everything to do with whether you believe and whether you are creating and manifesting whether it is always something or not. That is what this bipolar disorder is that was given to the entire human race through the traumas of the recent 3 years. We have these states of mania that can be triggered by a stimulus. We may shop, but then we have these times of depression too on the other side of the pole, where we were dealing with quarantines, isolations, dealing with certain levels of mandates, lockdowns, restrictions. All of this creates bipolar disorder just through the rhythm of the traumas that we experienced. So polarity is that swing, that lack of stability between the emotions. It is really extremity. That's what it is. That's what entertainment, some levels of it kind of points to. You know, I don't want to throw a negative light on entertainment, but when we go extra, and this is a note to directors who are on the higher levels of sorcery, and I understand where you are, directors, you have to make sure that you're not going so far over the top that you're manipulating the human race. Because the human race, when they go before a movie screen, a theater, a phone, they turn into babies. That's why this is Babylon, baby land. We are all in a sleep state, like an infant, like a baby, like something waiting to be born. And we are waiting to be born again in the next life, the higher extension. This transition into the fifth dimension, that is the new birth, this fifth dimensional birth. But in order to make it to the fifth dimension, we have to begin to live there mentally, physically, spiritually. The physical part will take care of itself. Drink a lot of water, get moderate exercise, don't overeat. That'll take care of everything. That's the body. The mind and the spirit is what this message is pertaining to. So that is polarity. Duality is not the same thing. Don't confuse duality with polarity. Duality, when we talk about uniting the angel with the demon, the negative part of duality is what operates the inner animus to move, to say, I gotta move, I gotta do this. That energy right there, that is the demon. And to defend yourself, when you're coming against something, you say, oh no, I gotta prevent this from ever happening again. And you get that steel in your energy, you get that reserve, that when you become resolute and obstinate enough to know for certain that you're going to plunge through your obstacles or die trying, like 50 Cent said, you're going to get rich or die trying. Because that die trying part, is not gonna be your reality when you're doing it the right way, when you're doing it in such a way where your life doesn't have any murderous risk involved. You're not gonna die trying. But because you're willing to die in order to make it on some level, the victory will be yours because you're laying it all on the line. With my messages, with my rhymes and all that stuff, I lay it all on the line. I think every last one of them is going to hit. I think every last one of them is going to attract 1,000,000 subscribers. I think every last video, every last song, and I won't stop until it happens. Or I'll die trying. You can write it on my tombstone. I really don't care if I die trying, but regardless, I am pre-wired, predisposed to do this. This is my center. So if I'm confusing polarity with duality, this would mean, if I apply it to what I'm saying about myself, it would mean there's a time when I feel upbeat about doing many messages and many songs. And then there's a time and long stretches of time where I don't feel like doing anything, messages and or songs. And this is never the case. Never has been the case, never will be the case. Even if I die, my spirit will still continue to do music and communicate messages of positive vibrations. That is what my soul is. So I'm going to continue to do that because I'm not bipolarized. I know what the mood is, the spirit, the tone in the air. I know what the energy of this eon is, but I am not through willpower alone, probably by grace. I won't say willpower alone because I don't know everything, but on this third dimensional plane, what I'm intending, what I'm willing to believe that I'm in the center of the pole, that I'm not swinging. If I'm going to swing in either direction, I'm going to stay on mania. Let's put it that way. I'd rather do the mania part of bipolarity rather than the depression. I'd rather just go crazy and get lost in my work than to feel worthless and not move a muscle, because this is what will actually kill you. Yes, your literal biochemistry will reverse, and your veins will basically pump formaldehyde. This is what depression does in a nutshell. In a nutshell, this will cover thousands of pages on the subject. I'm just condensing it that way. Duality. This is what we're going to need. This is what the Illuminists teach. This is what Rosicrucianists teach. This is what high-level Christians, Judas, they preach it. This is what Buddhists preach. This is what Hinduists and great spiritists, etc. This is one of those common threads. Understanding the duality between your natures. Understanding light and dark. Understanding the checkerboard floor. We can't throw the baby out with the bathwater just because there has been negative connotations applied to areas like Freemasonry. You still will get the same kind of powerful energy from the light codes that are wrapped in the symbology that those particular secret societies use. Whatever's going on with them in the world is not going to limit the power that you experience with the symbols that are represented. And that is understood by duality. There is that inner animus that is the negative charge. It is a level of dissatisfaction. It is the point to say, before you say, let there be light, that must assume that at some point you don't want, or at least are tired of, darkness. So you're in touch with your duality enough to come from that state of having it not made and to go into it having made, which is the left and the right hand. The right hand being the manifested form and the left hand being the unmanifested form. The unmanifested form is just as important as the manifested form. You can't get the manifested form without the unmanifested form. This is what shadow work is about. This is what the clip offs is about. This is what the dark side of Kabbalah is all about. It's not about all of this stuff that you may be seeing here and there. That if that is true, that is solely involving people who perverted the practices and the principles. But true duality, to unite your angel with your demon, is to know when to love and to know when to hate. You, for instance, you can love the process, but you can hate the procrastination that you are tempted by. Love and hate can exist in the same space, but the application of them has to be allocated properly. And this is how you express duality without getting caught up in polarity. I know that was preachy. Again, I'm Super T Sigma. Maybe I'm in my feelings from my higher self on down, and it's cool. I'm just sharing it with you guys. I'll catch up with you in a minute.